In this video, I am reviewing what it's been like to live in Gladden Farms for the last 6 months. My 6-month update living in Gladden Farms. Here we go. Gladden Farms is a community, master plan community in Tucson, Arizona. Technically, actually, it's in the town of Marana, Marana, and it's northwest Tucson. It's actually west of the highway, close to the highway, which is really nice because being near a highway in Tucson is super important. I travel a lot since I'm a real estate agent. I'm Allie Garced, a real estate agent here in Tucson, and I need to be near a highway, man. It is so hard to stop at every single stoplight otherwise when you're in Tucson. But anyway, this is not about Tucson. This is about living in Gladden Farms. This community has like 4,000, actually 3,800 homes, all new construction. So I really like new construction. There is a reason I chose this area here. I chose it because I lived in a different location prior to this. And one day I wake up and my car was broken into. So was my wife's. So was every single car on that street. After that, it's like, F this. We did have a garage in that other location too, but we didn't use it. We had a lot of stuff. Our garage was like jam-packed, so we didn't use it for cars. So that is a lesson learned to you if you are moving to Tucson. Man, it is so windy today. If you are moving to Tucson, use your garage or live in an area where you might not need one. So there are a lot of areas where carports are super, super common. Definitely check the crime stats so that way you know exactly what area you're getting into. So when my wife and I were deciding where to live, it was on the fly. We definitely made a rush decision, but I think we made a good decision. It was my first time purchasing new construction, and at the time, interest rates were getting higher and higher. But the lenders were going with super low rates. So we locked in at a 4.99. That was really, really nice. And yes, even though we were paying top of the market, we did buy a model home. So all of the nicest finishes were already established. The landscaping, the backyard was already done. No pool in the backyard, but that's okay. It was like completely finished with like fake turf, that fake grass stuff, which is very common here in Tucson, since otherwise it would cost a fortune to water your lawn with real grass. You don't want that. The area that we came to right before this one didn't have as many like families, but I like it. I like that like Halloween just happened, and look, we still in shorts. It's still 90 degrees out today, middle of November here, but definitely get more of like a family feel when you come to this area. Man, it is very windy today. It's not normally this windy. Of course, I choose today to walk outside, but there is Gladden Farms Elementary School. So if you have kids that are elementary school aged, you could probably walk them to the school. Granted, there are 4,000 homes in that area, so maybe walking is not the best option depending on where you live specifically, but there are still homes for sale. There are a lot of resale, though, I'm noticing. A lot of people will buy a home. I mean, homes were built here in like 2020, 2021, and 2022. But people are buying, and hey, for whatever reason, people still need to sell. So they're buying, living in it for a year, and then selling it. So I'm finding a lot of resale here. But overall, I've noticed that it's like pretty calm neighborhood. And at night, I've been doing my like live videos on Instagram at night just to get my steps in. So right now I'm getting my steps in and show you the neighborhood. You'll notice that there are not a lot of streetlights. So, which is very common because Tucson actually has like an agreement with the University of Arizona to not have a lot of streetlights because they have the U of A studies like nighttime stuff. So purposely Tucson, you'll see that the surrounding areas around Tucson normally do not have a lot of streetlights, which I think is awesome because I'm from New York and I pretty much never saw a star until I joined the military and went out to Oklahoma. That was my first location for active duty. So it's pretty cool that you can just look up, and if you stay looking up at the stars long enough, you will see a shooting star. That's dope. I don't know if they have it every single first Friday, but for a lot of first Fridays in the month, I'm realizing that Gladden Farms puts on like a whole show. Maybe I'll walk over that way too. But they have at one of the parks here, which we have multiple parks. At one of the parks, they'll have live bands. They'll have food trucks, ice cream trucks, shaved ice trucks. And so you can bring your family, bring a blanket, bring like a picnic, bring your dogs. And it's like a big like hangout spot. They'll do it rain or shine. It's currently monsoon season-ish. So I've definitely seen them, like the band, play in the rain, man. They're hardcore. My arm's getting tired. In Gladden Farms, like I've mentioned in other videos, we have the elementary school, right? We have like 12 miles of walking trails. We have a lot of trees. So it almost like if you go to this one specific area, it almost feels like you're not even in the desert. So I think that's pretty cool. Like a lot of shade, which you do not see in Arizona. We have a splash pad. We have a soon-to-be grocery store. So depending on when you're moving here, if Gladden Farms appeals to you, we may already have built that grocery store. And a lot of like dog parks. There's a softball field. There's like a, what do you call it? Where you like can grow stuff? Garden thing? Something like that. But overall, I felt safe, but my definition of safe and yours both sound very different. So I would never steal anyone anywhere. Always look at the crime stats. That way you can see what you're comfortable with. But right behind me here, this is where we have the first Friday where I can hear it like from my house. So you can hear like the live band, and it's like super cool. So this is where a lot of people will come and just hang out. Like it usually starts like around 5, I think, 6, like after work, and then we'll go to around 8, maybe 9. But these are like one of the dog parks over here, and this is where people will just chill. So the builders that we have here at Gladden Farms, we have Lennar, we have Kiwi, we have Madame, we have the 3 M's, we have Meritage, there are a lot. I got a Lennar home. I love it. I will say, not everything is perfect, right? So, for example, we had, and I'm telling you this to be honest, like completely, I will always be raw, like unfiltered. I will always tell you the straight truth because I will never want to mislead anyone. So I really, for my situation where I needed to move away from where I was with my wife, we purchased a Lennar. Love Lennar. But with anything, just like if you were to purchase a non-new construction, they're always going to be, nothing's perfect, right? So we had a couple of cracked tiles in the master bathroom. So it took a little bit to get fixed, like a couple of months. Granted, it's not a big deal. Like it was not an emergency by any means. However, when they were going to like replace those cracked tiles, they needed the grout, but I guess they ran out of the grout that was used in that bathroom. So they had a darker grout. So now like around where the cracked tiles were, now it's just like dark grout. So kind of doesn't really look the best, but it's also very, very minuscule. And I know I'm being completely picky. So I'm currently in one of the parks, taking a break from the long 1 mile walk. 11 more to go to cover the entire ground that we have as far as the walking trails. I don't think I've even discovered the full amount of walking trails that we have. I definitely stick to like my area, but it's cool to know that there are so many more miles of walking paths that I haven't even begun to venture out to. My review of living in new construction for the first time, I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I also have liked the location of Tucson. Granted, it fits my needs. I'm able to work from home though. One thing with that, if you also work from home, make sure that before you maybe go under contract, you are able to kind of walk the streets of where you're considering placing an offer on, because you might be able to hear the noise of what your neighbors are doing during the middle of the day. If, for example, you work from home and you need it to be super quiet, like say you're doing podcasts or interview, whatever you're doing from working from home, you do want to make sure that your neighbors aren't causing a ruckus, that your neighbors might not have like a lot of large dogs or just, any sort of noise. I've been super grateful that I've had such good neighbors. I will say though, again, being completely honest, because that's what I'm doing as a real estate agent, I'm giving you my complete honest review. I can definitely hear my neighbors. What I hear specifically, on one side, there are a couple of dogs that will start barking at like 6 a.m. I'm already up. That doesn't bother me. And on the other side, I hear one of my neighbors playing the keyboard, which I actually like. Like, luckily, the songs that he's playing and like the tempo that he's playing it is a sweet sound. I love, but I should probably tell him that no, I don't want to embarrass him. Never mind. I won't do that. but I personally like it. The point is, I lucked out. You might not. So you want to make sure, this is advice that my dad would always give me before buying a property. Make sure that you go there on a Friday night, Saturday night at midnight. Do you feel comfortable? And is this a location that you want to be in? So along with checking the stats, take my dad's advice. And also, if you work from home and you're going to be home during the middle of the day, you want to make sure that you can still have the ability to work from home comfortably. So go in the middle of the day as well and see, am I able to work? Can I hear something? Are people fighting? Or, whatever it is. If I were to put a number on it, say on a scale of 1 to 10, what my experience has been like living in a new construction specifically in Gladden Farms and Marana, I would say a 9. With that said, I work from home, so I don't need to travel. It might be an 8 or a 7 if I were still active duty and needed to travel 20, 30 minutes to get to Davis Monthan. It might be a 10 if I traveled up to Phoenix a lot because we are that much closer to Phoenix as opposed to the east side of town where I used to live in. Love the east side, but it is so far. There are a lot of costs as well that come associated with buying a new construction. For example, it's a bigger space than what I'm used to. So we have more than one air conditioning. So I think we have 3 air conditioning units, which can get pricey, especially since we don't have solar. I do not like solar. I will not get solar. But it's cool that the new construction builders here have partnered with pest control. So they have, and I don't know what the actual name of it is, but they're able to, without even going inside the house, like inject the injectables, like fluid, whatever it is, underneath the house. So in that way, it spreads all throughout. And that is my once a quarter, I believe, pest control there. They usually come between like 7 and 9 in the morning, and I don't even need to let them in. They do their thing. The maintenance is pretty cool. I have not rented in a very long time. I'm talking like over a decade. So it's almost feeling like I'm back to renting because I can call in for those shower tiles that were, chipped and I wanted it to be perfect. I can call in about the roof or, whatever issue that I'm having. Having a new build comes with that 10-year warranty. So anything during those 10 years, I can call in. It's like I'm renting again. So that part I like. That part is a 10 out of 10. I personally also have liked having already moved into like a model home because it's nicer than the others, I will say. In the backyard, it's already completely landscaped. But if you'd like to make the decision for yourself as far as how you want to landscape, then maybe not go for a model home. That's all that we had left when I was looking at the time, because I was looking for an RV garage. Do I have an RV? No. But like I said before at the beginning of this video, I have a lot of stuff that I need to keep in my garage, as well as 2 vehicles. So that is what fit both of our vehicles, plus like now our little home gym area. And I love it. The day that we had our cars broken into, that same day I got pre-approved. The very next day, we started looking at homes. We found this one. This one was the first new construction that my wife and I had ever considered. And we placed an offer. And that day, we were under contract. It went fast, but we also needed it to go fast. Let's talk about prices really quick. There are homes starting in the 300s. It's very high 300s. And those are the base model homes, right? Like, if you don't plan on doing any sort of customization to it and you want to keep it vanilla, which is totally fine, then you can stay in the 300s. But chances are you're looking at the 400s, you're looking at the 500s. And if you want, say, 5 bedrooms, you're looking at 600. Like I've mentioned before in other videos, I am very bullish in Marana. I really like Marana, especially Gladden Farms. I never thought I would like a master plan community. Did not think I'd be that person since I said no more HOAs. But I'm liking it so far. We're just wrapping up with our summer too. So we spent the full first summer in the house, and the AC bill wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. I think the max that we ever saw was $350. And now it's starting to cool off. It's still at 90 degrees and it's the middle of November, but at least the worst part is over. And at nighttime now, we're getting to like the 65 degrees, 75 degrees temperature. So we might start to sleep with a window open instead of the AC, but probably not. I don't know. If you plan on working anywhere near I-10, I would suggest giving this a shot. Look at some houses. Make sure, though, that when you go into an open house that is held by a new construction company, the builder, that you make sure that you are represented. You don't want to go to an open house from a builder unrepresented, because at that point you are working with the listing agent of that builder. You want to have your own representation across you. I would love to start working for you, so that way you can go ahead and put my name, Ali Garced, down on those forms, or you can just give me a call. But the best way to get a hold of me is to book a call directly below. The link is below. That's my Calendly. Let's book a call. No matter if you're 9 days away or 19 months away from moving, I'm here to help. My whole team and I are here to help you. So book a call and let's discuss your goals. And if you want more information on Gladden Farms, I made an entire video on it and the best neighborhoods to live. So look at those videos, book a call with me. I'm here to talk. See you later.